Make no mistake about it, great technical wrestling was never the main focus of WWE. After all, they cared about as much as that middle W as they do about your opinion of them back in 2021. Instead, they tried to create as many larger-than-life characters as possible. That was the company's business model, especially under Vince McMahon, and the company's biggest stars didn't necessarily get to be great inside the ring. With that being said, WWE has had some of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time on their roster over the years. Those are the stars who can have a good match against just about anybody. Look at your Bret Harts or your Gunters for examples of these. And when they face another awesome technical wrestler, the result is usually a technical masterpiece. These are the definitive best technical wrestling bouts in WWE history. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club. In today's video we're counting down the 10 best WWE matches ever on a technical wrestling level. In number 10 we have John Cena vs Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam 2013 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world today. When he signed with WWE in 2010 as Daniel Bryan, fans never thought he'd reach the top of the mountain there. But the fact is, Bryan did it, becoming a 5-time world champion in the process. One of his best title wins happened against John Cena at SummerSlam 2013. John Cena delivered many great matches throughout his career, although he didn't get enough credit for it. Cena and Bryan closed out one of the best editions of SummerSlam ever with a classic. After nearly 27 minutes of gripping action, Bryan shocked the world when he delivered the debuting running knee and pinned Cena clean to become the new WWE Champion as Triple H waited ominously in the wings. In number 9 we have Bret Hart vs Mr. Perfect from King of the Ring 1993 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. More often than not, King of the Ring tournament matches were nothing special, especially when the gimmick had its own pay-per-view match between 1993 and 2002. Since there were several tournament matches during the night involving similar wrestlers, the bouts were usually rushed and didn't stand out. But that was not the case when Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart went at it in the tournament semi-finals in 1993. The two legendary performers had fantastic chemistry together that had been previously demonstrated at SummerSlam 1991, and they put on another excellent matches over the years, most notably that SummerSlam encounter we just mentioned. But their best bout from a technical standpoint alone was the King of the Ring meeting. Aside from the great technical wrestling, they also told a brilliant story, despite not even being in a feud at the time. In the end, Hitman won and would eventually win the tournament for a second time. In number 8 we have Kurt Angle vs The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship at No Way Out 2006 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. Kurt Angle and The Undertaker had quite a few matches over the years. While they were fantastic workers individually, their bouts against each other weren't always awesome. They had a great WWE title match on SmackDown in late 2003, but they'd also wrestled each other in disappointing bouts at Fully Loaded 2000 and Survivor Series 2000. They finally delivered a classic though, when they met in the main event of No Way Out 2006. Angle and Undertaker went back and forth, with both men kicking out of each other's best moves. The dead man nearly made the champion tap out to the Hell's Gate, but Angle used his superior wrestling skills to counter the hold into a smart pinning position for the 3 count. In number 7 we have John Cena vs CM Punk from the February 25th 2013 edition of Raw with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. The road to WrestleMania 29 was far from perfect, which can also be said about WrestleMania 29 itself. John Cena won the Royal Rumble match to set up a predictable match with The Rock for twice in a lifetime, who'd taken the WWE Championship from CM Punk at the same event. But the road to WrestleMania did feature one of the best matches in the entire history of Monday Night Raw. John Cena and CM Punk had their final one-on-one match with Cena's title shot at WrestleMania 29 up for grabs. This was a terrific bout that ended almost when Punk hit a shocking pile driver. They kept going until Cena hit an admittedly abysmal Hurricane Rana from out of nowhere, but still impressive for a man his size, and he immediately hit the AA to score the pinfall victory. In number 6 we have Kurt Angle vs Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. In 2005, Kurt Angle was the best wrestler SmackDown had to offer, whilst the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels was the best performer on Raw. Both fans wanted to see them go at it for years, and they finally got their wish when the Olympic hero and HBK began to feud heading into WrestleMania 21. Expectations were extremely high, and they did not disappoint. Both men came close to winning this classic many times, with Michaels getting a very dramatic nearfall following a switch in music. HBK though would get caught in the ankle lock moments later, and he simply couldn't escape it, no matter how hard he tried. Angle made Mr. WrestleMania tap out in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 21. True Hollywood stuff. In number 5, we have Bret Hart vs Steve Austin from Survivor Series 1996 with a rating of 9.75 out of 10. During the peak of the NWO's run, WWE arguably had an even better feud between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Their best match, and most famous match, happened at WrestleMania 13, which featured the best double turn in wrestling history. But that bout was all about the storytelling and the brawling, and they had a better technical match at Survivor Series 1996, which isn't mentioned. However, given that WrestleMania match is one of the greatest in the history of the pay-per-view and the company, it's not hard to see why. It might have been the Hitman's first televised match since he lost the Iron Man match to Michaels at WrestleMania 12, which is not one of the best matches in WrestleMania history. It is one of the most boring. But he still wrestled a perfect match here. Austin proved he belonged in the ring against the best wrestlers that the WWE had to offer, as his rival with Bret Hart elevated him into the star he would become. That feud and this particular match at Survivor Series helped put Stone Cold on the map as a main eventer, despite him losing in an ingenious way as he locked in the $1 Million Dream and the Hitman would kick off the corner to roll up the Texas Rattlesnake. In number 4, we have The Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25 with a rating of 9.75 out of 10. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels had two of the best matches in WrestleMania history. Their feud culminated with a spectacular streak versus career match at Mania 26, where the Deadman ended HBK's legendary wrestling career. But before we got there, the two legends met in just a bog-standard singles match at WrestleMania 25. While Mania 26 was also incredible, it stood out because it was more dramatic due to the higher stakes, streak versus career. Mania 25 was great because of the in-ring action alone. Michaels did everything he could to end the streak, and he came close several times. However, The Undertaker caught HBK in midair as he went for a moonsault and delivered a tombstone piledriver for the win. In number 3, we have Randy Savage vs Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 3, with a rating of 10 out of 10. Every single year, WWE fans look forward to WrestleMania for a plethora of reasons, and they wonder what will be that year's WrestleMania Classic. This year, we had the main event of Cody Rhodes vs Roman Reigns. Last year, we had 3 of them, with the tag match between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens and the Usos, Charlotte and Rhea, and then Gunther, Sheamus and Drew. And then every WrestleMania before then, apart from WrestleMania 27, has had at least one Stone Wall Classic on it. And arguably the first WrestleMania Classic ever took place in 1987 when Randy Savage defended his Intercontinental Championship against Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. Savage injured Steamboat during the build-up, and he was aggressive during the whole match. Steamboat fought from underneath like the great babyface he was, and walked out of the Silverdome with the belt. All these years later, it's still one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, the history of the Intercontinental Championship, and WWE history. In number 2, we have Bret Hart vs Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10, with a rating of 10 out of 10. The Hart family is one of the most successful families in wrestling history. Not necessarily in terms of in-ring accomplishments, but more because of the fantastic technical ability of each of the members. Stu Hart did a great job as promoter with Stampede Wrestling, and his son Bret reached the top of the mountain in WWE in the early 90s. A few times, actually. In early 1994, it was time for Bret's brother Owen to become a big star as well. At WrestleMania 10, The Rocket and the Hitman went one-on-one in the opening contest. They had a spectacular technical wrestling encounter that ended with Owen scoring a clean win over his brother. Still, Bret shrugged this off and closed out the show as the new WWE champion, and the paranoid Owen felt he was still in Bret's shadow, which allowed the story to continue into a fantastic steel cage match at SummerSlam 1994, which should have gone on last. I don't care what you say about that fake Taker versus real Taker match, okay? This is one of the greatest storylines they've ever done. And in number 1, we have Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit from Royal Rumble 2003, with a rating of 10 out of 10. SmackDown was on fire in late 2002 and early 2003, with the infamous SmackDown 6 putting on a show week after week after week. If you've somehow never heard of the SmackDown 6, it was 6 of the best wrestlers Paul Heyman had to offer at the time: Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, and Chavo Guerrero. Basically what Paul Heyman would do is he'd look at these 6 wrestlers and go, okay, you're going to fight you, and you'll fight you, and you'll fight you. And then they'd just go out and put bangers on. At Royal Rumble 2003, 2 of these members would lock up for the WWE Championship as Kurt Angle defended against his former partner, Chris Benoit. Their match was simply incredible. The in-ring action was out of this world, with great reversal sequences and several dramatic false finishes. In the end, Angle and Benoit went back and forth on the mat as they tried to apply their respective submission holds. Benoit would lock in the crippler crossface, only for Angle to reverse it into the ankle lock, and Benoit would tap out, and Angle retained the WWE Championship to rocket him into the main event of WrestleMania 19 against Brock Lesnar. And there you have it, there's our list. So what do you think? What do you think is the greatest technical wrestling match in WWE history? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you never miss out any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Be sure to check out our other videos and share this around with your friends. Go on, you'll enjoy it, and I know they will too. However, that's all for now. Just like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club. See ya!